All right. It says we are live. I want to make sure we're live on the YouTube side here. Wow, this is complicated. I'll make sure people are seeing the videos on here. Okay, so. All right, so if you guys can see the video, go ahead and comment. We're making sure we're up and running. Let me know that you see. I've had to start a whole new video just because we were having so many problems on here. Well, there you are. Yes, there you go. I'm sorry. It's probably not going to – we're going to do a whole lot better quality. The quality is actually not looking very good on the YouTube side. Tell me what you guys can see, how the quality is looking. Is it looking pixelated? Because it's clear on my end, except when I look on YouTube, and that's why we were trying to do something different, and it was not working. They said we're good. They're all good. Hello, says Kent. I see from southeastern Pennsylvania. Fuzzy. So you guys are saying it's fuzzy on there. That's sad that it's fuzzy. I don't know why it is fuzzy on there. It should be coming across as clear. But it's saying that we're having a connection problem. And I'd hate to go ahead and stop this and start again. I'm trying to look to see if we can figure anything out here and try to clear this up a little bit, but I'm not seeing a way to do that. So what do you guys want to do? Should I start over and see if we can get a clear image, or should we just go ahead and talk and it's going to be one blurry live chat video on here, which is really, really sad because I worked really hard on trying to get this all set up this time, even better than just not doing it. The timing is fine. Voice is good. Fuzzy. I can hear you very well. Just talk. I'll just talk. Roll on. Let's talk. Fuzzy, don't worry about it. All right. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and start. I guess we're good, Dad. So Dad had stopped by the house to try to help me figure this out and bring up the computer, and we still couldn't get it figured out. So I promise here in the near future, the live videos are only going to get better. We're way out here in the middle of the country, so it just doesn't work that great. But welcome to our second ever live Q&A here on YouTube. For those of you just tuning in, some of you guys that are coming off our social media, such as like Facebook and Instagram, know that we're doing a giveaway. At the end of the video, we're going to be telling you how to win the brand new Hunting Grounds hat, and then we're also going to be giving away a brand new Spypoint Force 10 trail camera. Because who doesn't need another trail camera, really? I mean, I could keep that and be happy with it. So, but you guys have been doing so well on these live Q&As and just interacting on our stuff. Our sponsors have reached out to us, and even next week, I can get up and show you here in a little bit, or I can just announce it. But next week, we're giving away Dirt Nat Gear broadheads and rack seasoning. So we're going to be giving away both of those on the live Q&A video. And I'm so sad that this quality of video just isn't very good because you can't see the quality of the hat, or the cool quality and how good that Spypoint trail camera looks there. It's just sad. So I'm going to pull up this screen once again, and we're going to get going. So the topic on this, the reason I was going to give away a brand new Spypoint Force 10 was because we put out there in our social media accounts, what do you guys want to see or talk about as far as questions and like topics on just deer hunting. And a lot of you guys are talking about placing of your trail cameras to pattern deer on your property. So in doing that, I was like, well, why not, since we're sponsored and supported by Spypoint, give away a Spypoint trail camera so somebody else can fall in love with them just like we have here. So that's what we're going to be talking about, and I'm just going to start talking on here and figure some stuff out. How do you win? So at the very end of the video it will not go any longer than till 9 o'clock. Right now it's 8:27. So we've got just a little over 35 minutes of video that we can talk on, which is going to go really, really fast. And I'll tell you guys exactly how to win these. So let me tell you, first of all of you guys are going to ask, how many acres do I have here? It's just a question that's always asked. I have 91 acres. And right now I'm currently running, I think, 5 or 6 trail cameras on this piece of property. It's a longer piece of property. It stretches almost a mile long. It's not the widest piece of property, which makes a lot of different travel, like I guess home ranges of deer that intercept this property. So I have to have more trail cameras than if I had a nice square little piece of land there. So you guys, somebody's a new subscriber. I don't know how to pronounce your first name, Elzak or Isaac or Isaac. Maybe that's how you say it. Time-lapse feature for something you use. Time-lapse feature, do I use it? I use a time-lapse feature when I'm watching something grow, or another use of the time-lapse feature on like the Spypoints. What I like to do, particularly for patterning deer on my property, that's a great topic, is using the time-lapse mode. A lot of people don't use the time-lapse mode when trying to pattern deer on your property. But if you have like a field or wide open area that that deer like to travel through, it's really hard to gauge where those deer are coming from. If you're putting a trail camera up on a tree and you're putting bait right in front of it, you know that they appear right there in front of your trail camera. But what you don't know is how they come in, and maybe they come in at the far side of the field and they work all the way up to that trail camera. Well, what you can do with those time-lapse modes is find a tree out in the field or in that open area, go a little higher on the tree, try to hit that maybe 10-foot mark. You might have to get a ladder, you might have to stand up on the back of your ATV. And I always love your vlogs, how you do so. But anyway, you can put those about 10 foot high and put on a time-lapse mode. And you can do it just during the daylight hours. That way you can actually pick up the deer or the turkeys or whatever in the far back. But you're going to be able to gauge how those deer come across that field, where they enter, where they exit, how they move across. And you might just change how you completely set up your tree stand. You might have your tree stand set up near the trail camera because you know the deer show up there. But if they are all entering and exiting, probably the very beginning of September, end of August on here. They lost me. How can you lose me? Because I'm set up on my internet here. So we're going to see here. Okay, so it's saying that they've lost me. I'm going to keep talking because it's the way it goes here. How many cams do you suggest? Welcome back. Hello. All right, tell me if you guys see my image on there whatsoever, because it should be popping up. I don't know why it's not on there. All right, how's that look? I don't know what happened there. Technical difficulties of living out in the country and doing this stuff. So it's not always easy, but we're trying to do it. And we're going to keep getting better every single week, and I'm going to try to bring better and higher quality live videos to you guys. Just logo. All right, so you guys should have me back on screen now. It says on the other screen, it's just going to take 1 second to pop back up there. So anyway, yeah, so that was a great point on using your time-lapse mode to your pattern your big bucks. Now, I'll tell you one question I get a lot. Now, all this is just, I'm not the expert in the field. It's just I've used cameras. I've literally used these cameras since I was putting 35mm film in them. And I would go through and just spend gobs of money on developing these images and getting just a few pictures off these cameras. So anyway, one thing that I've definitely learned is when you're setting up these cameras is a lot of people ask me all the time, like, I'm not getting my big buck in daylight hours on camera. It's always nighttime, but I keep getting him consistently. How can I get that buck to start coming in there during daylight hours? That's always the question. Now, there's tips that you can, and tricks and little techniques that you can use out there to maybe make a more active scrape to get that buck to start coming in there, to start hitting on that scrape and trying to intercept that buck, or what he thinks a buck is a buck, to come in there. And there's ways to do that. But what I would suggest is not trying to make that buck come into that spot, particularly during the daylight hours. What's probably happening is that buck is probably somewhere on the edge of, or that camera is set up on the How did I lose it? Now it's saying you guys have my voice again. I am so sorry about this. I do not know what is going on here. Gone, black, lost again, lost you, lost you. So you guys should start seeing me once again. Anyway, what you should do in those type of situations, if your buck is not showing up there during daylight hours, is not ask the question, I'm trying to get the buck to show up there in daylight hours, is to start moving your trail cameras. Like I was saying, you're probably set up right there on the edge of that buck's home range, and he's probably getting there at nighttime or just before daylight, and he's going back to bed. So then take your camera and start moving it around. I guarantee if you start moving it around, maybe throw it up on the other end of your property, kind of throw some cameras up north, south, east, and west from there, and try to figure out where that buck's coming. I guarantee if you move those cameras, you're probably going to pick up that buck during a daylight hour, maybe just a few hundred yards away, but by the time he ever gets into your trail camera setup, it's going to be dark. Now, the problem is, especially a small property, that might be on your neighbor's property. That buck is hanging out all day, and by the time he gets to your property, it's in the nighttime. So then that's where, a lot of the habitat improvement that we do on our property here on the hunting grounds really comes into play. We're building the sanctuary areas. We're building the bedding areas, giving them a lot of browse, and we're improving our hunting grounds, so maybe they'll attract them in here and hold them here versus our neighbors. Charles, just send me a message on there. We'll check some stuff out. Maybe I should use Spypoint for live feed. That's very, very true. 300 yards from where I was getting him on trail camera, says David. Yep, exactly. So there it is. You might be getting them on camera somewhere, and they aren't showing up during daylight. You have to move that camera in different areas, set up a bait site in front of it, whatever, to draw them in there, and see if you can get them in daylight hours, because you're going to be closer to his bedding area in that sense there. With restrictions on CWD, what do you recommend I plant camp feed in my county? It just depends. Plant something. Something is better than nothing, I'll tell you that. But what I always do is I look around neighboring properties, see what they have, and see what the deer want that they don't have, and I plant it on my place. If you're in agriculture fields, you got a lot of corn around, you plant soybeans. Vice versa there, and especially in those areas that you have a lot of agriculture, maybe plant some late season green plots on your property. That way, when all the food sources around you have been harvested, deer filter in on your property or stay on your property. What's up, Alan? Do you get a good inventory of deer? Okay, hold on. This is bow hunting for life. What would you do to get a good inventory of deer if you were in CWD zone where you can't use mineral or bait? Very good question. I think in a lot of CWD zones too, they restrict the use of scents, I believe. At least they are here in Arkansas. And I don't know the rule on synthetic scents. That gets to be really, really hard. If I was going to get a count of like what I have on my property without baiting or anything like that, it would just have to be, put them over like well-used travel corridors. If you have food plots, I know food plots are still legal, put them over food plots. This might work for you too, to go in and maybe put the time-lapse mode of a camera really high, figure out where those deer are using the majority of your property if you have a wide open field, and really hone in where you put that trail camera, because it's going to give you a better percentage of pictures because the deer are coming in a certain area of the field. That's a tough question. That definitely does make it tough. And if anybody else has any good tips on that, that'd be a great way. It's not something that I've had to deal with, the CWD here in our county or anything there. So maybe sometime in the future I'll have to figure that out. Oh, wow, very clear now. Well, I hope it gets clearer and clearer. Thanks, Jeff. I really appreciate it. Use antler grow in CWD areas, says Sean. Soybeans are the best all-around food plot, Dakota. Yeah, it's a pretty dang good food plot for sure. I got a new episode coming out this Thursday, and I'm going to show you guys my soybean plots, what they're doing, and how the deer are hitting on them. So, and how one of my food plots even failed. How many tons of forage do you have per acre? Is that something you watch? I would love to know that. I haven't ever like calculated it. I know provide quite a bit, but not as much as I really want. I should have by the end of this year, I should be sitting at right about 10% of my property in food plots, so I should be close to around 9 to 10 acres in food plots on this 91 acres. The live feed is blowing up. Yeah, there's tons of comments going on there on the live feed. If you guys have any other questions, try to throw them up on here. I'll try to see them. Right now, I will tell you that I do put up my trail cameras 365 days a year. I always have my trail cameras up. I like to really watch and just see the life of a deer. And it's not only for that, but it gives me a good idea of predators that I have on my property, and such as if you're looking at like bobcats and coyotes. It gives me a good idea of those, and coons and possums, and if I need to trap a little heavier. So maintaining like my cameras on my property 365 days a year really allows me to manage my property a whole lot better. How much cover do you have in your tree stand sets? I feel like I'm too exposed, being exposed and being cut cedar limbs with me. Thoughts? I used to be one of those kind of guys that I like to see everything around me wide open and clear when I was in the bow stand. I really like to make sure I pick my lanes now. I'd rather be much more covered up and allowing myself to get away with a lot more movement up there in the tree stand and just pick those shots, because if I've done my homework and I know how the deer are coming in there, then I know that I've got time, especially if those deer aren't spooked, they've not seen anything, they're going to work into your shooting lanes there. So I like to cover up a lot more. Now if you're talking about putting up cedar branches up in the tree with you of one that you've already trimmed out, I've done that. I've strapped them on with ratchet straps and everything else. Yeah, there's about 6 of us earlier, says Brian. Yeah, I saw that. I tried to end that video. What I was trying to do actually for this live feed is I was trying to get on there and do a higher quality video and have it set up where it's scheduled and using another program that throws it in. And I'm going to have to do a lot more research to figure that out. So it's been pretty difficult to get this all going. I'm pretty tech savvy, but this whole live feed on YouTube, it's been pretty difficult. What direction do you point your cameras? Someone told me north-south is the best, reduce glare. I point them every which direction. So many people are always saying that. Don't point your camera south. Well, that's primarily in like the open areas, because if you do point it south in the open areas, you're going to get a lot more glare. That sunlight's going to be in your camera so many hours of the day. But a lot of these cameras do have a pretty good little edge around like the frame of the lens here that kind of helps keep out the sunlight. In the woods, honestly, there's so much cover, there's so much shade in the woods that there's some spots that I have to point it south, and I really don't get much camera glare whatsoever. If I have to point it south to get the pictures, and that's the only setup that I've got, then I'm going to do it. In a field, I'm going to try not to, because that field, it's just wide open. There's no backing, there's no shade or anything there. Do you suggest smaller plots that may get hit heavily while growing? They might not have a chance. What do you suggest for smaller plots that may get hit too heavily while growing? They might not have a chance to mature. So anyway, I'm actually hitting that exact topic that was from Robert. I'm hitting that exact topic on Thursday. You'll see one of my food plots that are getting hit extremely hard, and I'm okay with it, and I'll show you why. I won't go too far into it because we can get really far into that, but I'm going to go into good detail on Thursday's episode that will come out. How long does the batteries last on the cameras that you use? So we use all Spypoints. Force 10 is probably one of the best cameras. That's what I'm giving away right here. It's probably one of the best cameras on battery life. I believe they take 6 AA batteries, and depending on what mode you put them on, I might only change these batteries out once, maybe twice a year. If I'm putting them over a mineral site or feed site or something like that, then I'm going to reduce the amount of pictures that I'm taking and the amount of time that it starts detecting, just because I don't want hundreds or thousands of photos of a single deer sitting on there. But they really last a long time. Spypoint actually came out this year or this last year with a solar camera. It's got a built-in solar panel up at the top. It comes in, I believe, around $200, which is excellent because you can actually put batteries in for backup as well. But all my solar cameras, I do not. The solar cameras are primarily what I use on my property now just because I hate buying batteries. I don't buy batteries anymore except for some of my Force 10s and my Force 11Ds that are from Spypoint. So, yeah, they're really good on battery life for sure. Any tips on placing cameras on a property that is not local to you? Primarily, I hunt it. My deer camp's about 3.5 hours away. I can't get out to check them often. So that's from Keith. Keith, I don't know if you looked into it. Spypoint has a brand new cellular camera. The one for Verizon is coming out either in July or towards the end of July or into August. I can't remember which it is. But the one for the AT&T is already out. And they have the best system that I've ever seen as far as cellular cameras. And they come in at an exceptional price. At least half the price, if not even more than that, less than the regular cameras that are out there that do all these cellular technology kind of things. So they have some, and I will be setting myself up with some. That's why I was waiting for the Verizon version of the Spypoint. They're called the Lynx. Link Evo, maybe, I believe. But check them out because they have a great app where you can view all the photos, and you're getting you get so many photos free sent to your phone a month, and for just a little bit more, you don't have to go in, or for a little bit more, you can set up where you get more photos sent to you, but you don't have to go into the cellular provider and get everything set up. They do all that for you, and it is exceptional. So, how high do you hang your cameras on the hunting grounds? It honestly depends. I'm probably about chest level, maybe head level in some areas. I have a lot of slopes on my property, and sometimes I'm facing up those slopes a little bit, so I have to place them a little bit higher. What I like to try to do is I like to try to place them high enough that I'm not going to, especially if I'm baiting, which we don't bait here. I do have a feeder during the summer, but we primarily just use mineral sites. But even on mineral sites, you're going to get armadillos and coons and possums and everything to come in there. And I'm fine with getting those on camera because it lets me know that they're in the area and I need to do more trapping and predator control. But at the same time, I don't like to fill up my cameras with that. So where I can, I like to try to set it at a high enough level that's going to capture the deer and stuff that will walk in and not trigger with every single rabbit and armadillo and everything that comes by there. I wish some of my game cams had GPS. I believe that's something that some of the Spypoints actually have. They have some units that when you are active on the cellular stuff, it actually tags like where the photo is from. Sean, you need to make more videos on a regular basis. I get bored through the week. If I had more time to make more videos, I definitely would. And I hope to do that sometime in the future for you guys. If I could make a video every single day, I'd be making videos every day for you guys. What brand of mock scrape do you use? It's called My Own Pea. So, yeah. I have used tinks and whatnot, but I'm telling you, if you just take your time and pee in the scrape, I've had the best results out of it than any other. Is the phone app cams worth the money? If you're talking about cellular trail cameras, yes. The new Spypoint. The new Spypoint, I believe, is called the Link. I am thoroughly impressed because what they have done is they've taken a camera and they stripped it down to the basics, because you don't need all the bells and whistles on a camera to check it that's out there that's sending you photos. You basically want to set it up, turn it on, program it on your phone, have it send you the photos. That's it. They even have one that's got a cellular or a solar panel on the top. So now you don't even have to go about to change the batteries on the camera. You set up the camera and you let it rock and roll. Spypoint has done a great job. I'd encourage you to go look at them. And I'm not just pushing them because they're a sponsor. I truly believe in these and the company and the people behind the product, because I've been with them before they were much of a sponsor, and that's how much I believe in their product. So just check them out, spypoint.com. They have the coolest, like, best technology as far as trail cameras, especially the cellular trail cameras. I believe that's how they're on the market today. What kinds of cameras you have? I have all Spypoints. What's your next project for the house? I'm never in between projects, so it's always project after project. So right now it's putting out the exterior on the house, and then I'll be finishing the upstairs. Spypoints, as far as price range, like this one you're going to usually, I believe you can get it around 99 bucks. I think it's around 99 bucks. But you're just getting an exceptional camera. As if you go into anywhere, Bass Pro or Cabela's, go ahead. I encourage you, line these up. Take a Spypoint, line them up against any other camera out there. You will not get the quality of camera at a better price out there, period. This one here has 10 megapixels, 42 LEDs, 90-foot flash range, and a trigger speed of 0.3 seconds. A lot of their cameras, actually, I forgot I even had this here. Sorry. This is their solar camera. You can see the solar panel that's built in on the top. This one has 0.07 seconds trigger speed, 100-foot flash range, 12 megapixels. This one, I believe, comes in at around 200 bucks. No batteries required. You can put extra batteries in it, so you're saving tons of money on batteries. You never have to buy batteries again. So how much money is that going to save you in the long run? But that's their solar panel one. But on average, you can hit anywhere from 99 to 200 to 250. I think they're cellular ones that get up there that are at least probably 250. But they're so much cheaper than any other ones out there on the market, and you're getting a better camera. Oh, man. No, 99 bucks. That's the thing. There's a lot of cameras out there that are price point cameras. You're getting what you paid for. If you want to go in and you want to spend 30, 40 bucks on a camera, you're just taking a roll of the dice. It can be a good camera that can last you a long time, but it's also can be one of those cameras that 3 or 4 months down the road, it's going to crap out. It's just the way it works. I have tons of my cameras of the Spypoints that I have had running on this property for 2 years, and I've been running on some other properties for 3 or 4 years now. 3 years at least. That's awesome, Sean. Dave from Whitetail Obsession. I don't know him. So, okay, I'm not seeing any more, too many more comments on the live video feed there. So what I'm going to end up doing is I'm going to tell you guys exactly how we're going to do this giveaway here. Amazing how far the TSG TV has come. Yeah, thanks, David. I appreciate it. The Spypoint sell theft cases for cameras. They do. They have a full line of accessories. They have like the lock boxes and everything on their website. Just go to spypoint.com. What's your rotation on acres per camera? I have 600 acres and around 6 cameras. Right now, I'm at 91 acres on this property. I have 6 cameras, but my property is about a mile in length. I have a lot of different ranges that kind of come into here. The more cameras that I put up on my property, the better that I can pinpoint my deer. So even during season, I'm going to have more cameras out on my property. Now I've got them at like points that are easy to access without bumping too many deer. So as season comes in, I'm going to put more cameras out, and it's just going to allow me to fine tune where those deer are coming from, where they're going, what time is best to hunt certain stands. It gives you a whole lot of information. I guess you can eventually have too many cameras on the property, but the more cameras you have, the more information that you're going to get, and hopefully get closer to killing your big old buck. All right. So you guys can keep commenting on there, but what I want to do is tell you guys exactly how you can win this stuff. And actually, yeah, I can tell you guys how you're going to win this stuff on here. So I will tell you that I think I said at the very beginning of the video, you guys have been doing so well on these live Q&As. I'm going to work my rear off and try to figure out how to get better camera quality going for these live Q&As, so you guys just have better reception and it looks better and we have a much better time and I feel better. But the sponsors have been seeing this and they love it. And I am fine with giving you guys as much stuff as I possibly can. So the more you guys interact and follow us on YouTube, on Instagram, and Facebook, all the links will be put down below this video as I upload it when it's finished to YouTube. I'd encourage you to go back in, comment on it, tell me what you guys enjoyed about it, what you guys want to talk on the next video, give a thumbs up. But the sponsors have reached out. So next week, we already have Dirt Nap Gear. We're going to give away some Dirt Nap Gear broadheads, and rack seasoning has come on board too. We use rack seasoning on all our deer meats and turkey and everything. And each one of them are going to give away some products. So next week, you'll have to tune in for live Q&A. We're going to put up some questions on our social media, probably on Facebook and on Instagram, seeing what you guys want to talk about this next topic, and we'll do another live Q&A because I do enjoy them. Sometimes it gets lonely here with just me and the old deer and Journey over here sleeping on the floor. So, so you want to tune in next week. I'll just say that. So as far as the hat, what I want to do for the hat, you guys ready for this? You guys want to find out how to win the Huntin' Grounds hat so we don't have to go over 9 o'clock? Give a thumbs up or say, heck yeah, on there or something like that. And then we'll get this going. So anyway, how you win the Huntin' Grounds hat? You have to go to our Instagram page. Now, do I want to do Instagram? I want to do Facebook. We're going to do Facebook. So within 15 minutes of this video getting done and posting on YouTube, I'm going to have a little video on Facebook. It's just going to be showing off the hat. I'm not going to put it out there for everybody just to know what's going on, but you guys that watch the live video will know exactly what's going on. You guys will see that video on there. What I ask for you to do is share the video and down below comment, I watched, or just say I enjoyed, I watched, something about the live Q&A on YouTube. So if you would, 15 minutes after this video is done, go to our Facebook page, share the video that I'll have talking about the Huntin' Grounds hat, share it and say, I loved watching the Q&A, or you can tell me what to watch or what to talk about in the next Q&A. Just put something on there. So that's for the hat. Everybody got it? Simple and easy. Now as for the big kahuna. Yes, the Spypoint Force 10. I know, it's a lovely thing. I think next year, what do you guys think? I'm thinking we need like a Huntin' Grounds picture here with maybe me and a buck or something rather than just a deer. I think that would work. What do you guys think? I think so. I think we should try to get that worked in next year, huh? That'd be pretty cool. That'd be like a dream come true there. So anyway, for the Spypoint, you guys ready? What I'm going to do is going to come to a surprise for you guys. Is I'm fixing to go back through the comments and I'm going to scroll randomly and I'm going to stop on somebody's name, and as long as it was a positive comment, not some kind of troll, Zach Van Dyke, our bribes accepted. He just gave $2. No, Zach. Zach's actually staff of the team, but you can keep your staff position. I'll tell you that. That's pretty dang funny. That's a highlighted comment. That's cool. Anyway, to win this, I'm fixing to go back through the comments. So if you haven't made a comment, make a comment now, and you might have a chance to win. I'm going to go back through, randomly scroll. I'm going to stop on a name, and as long as it was a positive thing and not some troll being hateful on the video, I'm going to announce that winner. Yeah, you guys didn't know I was going to do that, did you? So maybe that's a clue for the next live Q&A that you want to interact throughout the video, because you're going to see your name get picked. Thank you guys. All you guys are saying that you love our videos. I truly appreciate that. I worked my rear off, and I actually got off work, came here, shot the video for this Thursday's video up till the time of doing this live video. So it's nonstop. Oh, okay. So here we go. I'm ready to scroll. You guys don't know it, but I'm scrolling right now. Here we go. Scrolling, scroll. Wow, there's a lot of comments. There's a ton of comments. Okay. Still scrolling, going back and forth. I don't know where I'm going to stop. You guys are all hoping I stop on you. I know how it goes. Okay, 3, 2, 1. Oh, can't pick that one. That was a staffer. Sorry. I'm not going to say who it was because I'll be mad. Here we go. I don't know who this person is. You ready? I'm going to have to take a screenshot here. Hold on. That way I don't lose it. Winner of the Spypoint Force 10 is Les Church. Leschurch. Les Church. So appreciate you guys interacting for that right there. Les, if what you'll do, you can direct message me on YouTube, send me your address, or you can go to our Facebook page, message me on there. I'll make sure and confirm that it is you. That way somebody's not just trying to pick up a free camera, and I'm going to ship this to you. And don't forget, guys, at the end of this video, I'm fixing to post this on YouTube. When it's done on YouTube, go back in, give a thumbs up, comment, let me know what you guys want to talk about on next week's episode or next week's live Q&A. Episode's coming Thursday, so be ready for that. And then I'm going to be posting a video on Facebook here in 15 minutes. It's got this on it. All you got to do is share the video with the hat. Comment down below, love the Q&A on YouTube or something along those lines, and you're entered to win. Guys, I appreciate every single one of you, and I hope that you all have a better than average day. I'm going to sign off here. We'll see you guys.